Hey folks, welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. We're here in the Forest of Fallen Giants, tracking down those fallen giants, and revisiting their memories of that final siege of the fort. We've got one left. It's the climax, I would say, of the three, although you can approach them in any order. Just head on down this way, off to the left here, and you may recall that there is a King's Gate here, guarded by a Cyan Knight. So let's go ahead, aggro him. Oop, and we got a Forlorn. Cool. Can I get this gate opening? Yeah, okay. Cool, let's dance while the door opens. So yeah, Forlorn, they can, invade at random. You might not run into this guy. But by this point, I kind of know how they work. I fought several of them in Aldea's Keep, and I've definitely fought some elsewhere as well. So just gonna use my power stance to stun them, so they can't attack me. Come on, buddy. Well, got a little cocky. Oof. Yeah, this is what I get for talking up my skills, is that I get my butt kicked. Anyway, you may be wondering, hey, didn't we already pick up that Grand Lance? Maybe. Memory is so fickle sometimes. Anywho, let's head through the King's Gate, and it'll lead us to a nice little convenient bonfire. Now, none of the other memories had bonfires right outside them, so that's weird. Wonder why they put that there. There's the tree, by the way. But real quick, we're going to hop off here, grab this item, then we'll aged feather back to the bonfire. No harm done. I love this thing. I wish it were in the other Souls games. Anyway, let's get to this memory. I'll note this one's got some sparkly stuff going on. Alright, welcome to the Memory of Jay. And you'll note, hey, we got some summons and a fog gate. Oh dear, what could that mean? Well, it means we got a boss fight, which is why I saved this one for last. You can only summon one of those two, either Drummond or Benhart. Not sure why, maybe they don't like each other. I'm going for Benhart because I want to summon him for the final boss also. And we step out onto the battlements here, where giant fireball things are coming out of probably catapults, and as you'll see in a sec, boom, statue, giant head, rolling. Wait a sec, I've seen this before. This is the Pursuer Arena. If you're lucky, you can get both the giants to get killed by the rolling head, which is awesome, but usually, from what I can tell, it's just the one. And Benhart is pretty courageous / foolhardy here. He will rush into danger, including into fire, straight towards the boss. And this is the Giant Lord. That's music. Might sound familiar. It's been a while. It's been most of the game since we've heard it. But we fought a giant of this stature before with this music, who really liked stepping on people. So this is the leader of the giants who has come to besiege Drangleic here. And we know already going into this fight what becomes of him. This, in addition to being Lord of the Giants, becomes the last of the giants. We met him, fought him below the fort as one of our first boss battles. And you'll recall, when we walked in and he saw us, he reacted rather poorly. He was not happy to see us. It's because we're the one who defeated him the first time. Weird how that works. Anyway, he drops a Lord Soul for us. I don't know, not literally a Lord Soul in the Dark Souls 1 sense, but it is the Giant Lord Soul. And also the Giant's Kinship. And we'll take a look at both of those in just a sec. Grab that soul there. Let's check out the items. Soul of the Giant Lord who once conquered Drangleic. Vendrick crossed the seas, took prisoner the giants, and brought them back to his castle, clapped in irons. However, after this modest triumph, his countenance could be seen to grow darker with each passing day. I'll say more about that in a couple minutes. Each king has his rightful throne, and when he sits upon it, he sees what he chooses to see. Or perhaps is the throne which shows the king only what he wants. The flames roar, but will soon begin to fade, and only a worthy heir might burnish their light. What is it truly a claimant of the throne could desire? So this giant's kinship is what grants us access to the final boss. Grants us access to the throne beneath Castle Drangleic. But before we visit that, we've got a couple errands to run. First, returning to the memory of Oro now that we have fought alongside Benhart.
We have outwitted death a good many times. My dear friend, take these.
Alright, we got his equipment, and he's now available to summon for the final boss. The blade of this greatsword shines like the brilliant rays of the moon. In the oldest legends, rarely spoken of today, it is said that the sword was born of a great white being. Then, what explains this lifeless weapon? Perhaps there's been some mistake. So yeah, this is a fake. It is not the iconic Moonlight Greatsword. A helmet of unknown origin. Apparently, Benhart found this while wandering land to land, but its origins are unknown. He wore it all the time. He adored it so, leaving a slight odor. So we get kind of not a very charitable look at Benhart here. He's got a bunch of armor that he picked off some random person somewhere in the world he doesn't know, and the one thing that he finds valuable in his life and takes pride in is a fake. Poor Benhart. Anyway, now that we have all 4 giant souls, there's one trip that we should make, and that is to return to Ventric. And this, again, I think is something that Nishandra will encourage you to do, but it's so out of the way to go to talk to her in Drangleic Castle. I don't want to do that. So, here's how it works. For each giant soul that you acquire, up to 5, we have 4 by the way, Vendrick's defenses are halved. He starts out at something like 32 times defense. Now he's only at double defense. We could get him down to normal, if we killed the Ancient Dragon and took that soul, but I don't want to do that. Also, you can dive into Vendrick's memories. I'm not going to do that. Primarily because it ties into the DLCs, which I'm not doing. But, anyway. Now we can kill Ventric. Now, why would we do Ventric? Why would we kill him like this? It's not like he's, say, guarding the first flame or something, like Gwyn was. I think it's kind of to put him out of his misery a little bit. But also to unlock the true final boss that was only added in Scholar. So the Ventric fight here does kind of play on the same stylings of Gwyn from the first game, in that, you know, he's an empty husk of a king who, frankly, is a very easy boss fight. He can hit hard. That is a strong swing of his sword. But as you can see, I'm basically just walking to the right, and he can't touch me. And I think the music's really good. I think this largely evokes the feelings that they're going for. I think it was more impactful just when we first encountered him, rather than actually fighting him. So I also want to note, a little while back we picked up the Giant's Lord's soul, and it talked about him taking giants prisoner when he brought them back from across the sea. Drummond talked about how Vendrick acquired a prize of some sort from the dragons. I called them dragons again, giants. And it was speculated for a while, what could that have possibly have been? Maybe it was the giant's kinship. Maybe it was the golems. Turns out, and this was added in the Scholar patch, it was the giants themselves, and taking their bodies for various purposes, including experimentation by Aldia, probably. So that is one mystery that was kind of solved in the Scholar patch. But yeah, Vendrick, not a tough fight. Not supposed to be. A little bit drawn out, but I think that suits the purpose. Adios, Vendrick. Get a butt ton of souls from that too, by the way. And that's Vendrick. And once you defeat Vendrick, you can take his stuff from over in Shrine of Amana, actually. So a little past the second bonfire of Shrine of Amana here. You can see the bonfire back there. Can see it, but whatever. There's a bridge here that I think normally is a dragon rider here, but maybe I killed it already. And so when Ventric was fleeing Castle Drangleic, he dropped his stuff, and by dropped I mean he set his stuff and hid his stuff here. And even though you can cross this and see the door will not open until you defeat Vendrick. This one right here. And in here, you will find two things. First, on this dinky little chair, very symbolic little chair, the soul of a king. This great soul beckoned to the dark, overwhelming the king. Perhaps this king, who once ruled the world of men, was a lacking vessel for the true throne. I will note, though, the soul still burns bright. Unlike, say, Valdstats, has not been corrupted by the dark. And up here in this chest, we find the reason Vendrick was in his underwear when we were fighting him, which is a little weird when you think about it. He left his equipment here. What makes a king? Some say that it is birthright, while others call it destiny. Perhaps it is not important, as long as the king's name serves to unite his people. And this kind of makes me realize, I feel like Vendrick's relationship to his subjects is largely unexplored. We know a lot about his battle with the giants. We know a lot about his desire to link the flame. We don't know a gosh darn thing about his relationship to his subjects. I guess Drummond respected him.
Bearer of the curse, I will always be at your side until hope has fully withered.
So let's level up here for the last time before we take on the game's final challenge. Again, not planning to do the DLCs. The DLCs are good. A lot of people consider them some of the best Souls content in existence. And even the naysayers of Dark Souls 2, who incidentally are very wrong and their opinions are shameworthy, do generally consider the DLCs to be really, really good. But I want to draw this series to a close. And while the stories of the DLCs are interesting in their own right, I want to bring closure to the story of Vendrick and Nashandra and Aldia. So, until then, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.